I've got the bow, tree stand, muzzle loader, binoculars, boots, camera arms, and everything else that I will be using for this 2025 deer season that is coming up in 2 weeks. What's going on, friends? Happy day, Truth Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome if this is your first time. I appreciate you guys stopping by to check it out. Hey guys, if you haven't, like and subscribe, and check out the Instagram. I'll put that link below. Share it with your friends. But anyways, let's get into the video. Today I'm gonna bring you guys along and share all the gear that I'll be using and what I've been using for the last couple years. I got a couple tips in here, and I'm gonna go over a few products that might help you guys out this season, and maybe you want to check it out. So let's get into it. All right, friends, so I guess we'll start right here with the bow. This is a Bear Refine 33 axle to axle, 70 pounds, and I got it set at 28.5-inch draw length. Not a bad bow. I bought this a few years ago, back in, well, I can't remember. I think it came out in 21 or 22. I might have bought it the year after. Not for any reason. And real quick, none of these products pay me, or companies pay me to say anything about these products. This is all stuff I bought with my own money. But anyways, yeah, back to the bow. It's not bad. It's a little loud and a little bit aggressive, but it gets the job done. I'm looking to upgrade maybe in the next year or so. Shooting a Spot Hog. This is the Booney sight, 2-pin, which is really nice. I really like that. I've been kind of messing around with a 3-pin and just didn't like the sight picture, so I went back to my 2-pin, which I've had a lot of success with. This is pretty cool. This, I think, I'll put this link below. I could have this wrong. I think this is called the Viper sight light, and it's pretty cool because it's rechargeable with a mini USB. Comes with a couple different bushings, so it'll fit multiple sight housings. Pretty sure it's called the Viper, but look in the description. I'll put that below. I really like that. As I get older, I've noticed that I use that light a lot more, even when it's daylight, just to brighten up those pins. But I use a lot of knock-on stuff. This is John Dudley's 13-inch stabilizer. I don't know the exact amount of weight that's on the front of it. I think it's either 4 or 6 ounces. I don't run a back bar. Never tried it and don't really feel like I need to. I shoot pretty well with the way I have it set up. What else do I got going on with this bow? I am shooting the Easton Sonic 6.0 arrows. These are the 300 spine, and I shoot 125 grains up front with a 50 grain brass insert. Nocturnal lighted nocks, I really like those. And these are the AAE Max Stealth. I think they're the 26. I could have that wrong, but nonetheless the bigger one. Total arrow weight I think is around 480. I always like to be anywhere between that and 500. Not a big FOC guy, but for those of you that want to know, I think I'm coming in right around 14 or 15%, which from what I understand is pretty ideal. I'll tell you this, 90% of the time I get pass-throughs. I shoot the Sever 2.0 titanium mechanical broadhead. I think I have one with me, so I'll dig that out in a minute if you're not familiar with it, but I'm sure most of you guys are. I've had great success with those on obviously great shots, and then even some of those marginal shots. That broadhead has really performed for me. So I'm not knocking anything that you guys are using, but that's what works really well for me. I think these arrows are cut down to 27.5 or 27.25, something like that, but work really well for me. The only downside I will say is for the lighted nocks, you do have to put that bushing in, which I am not a fan of, but it is what it is. I've honestly never had a problem with them. So yeah, and anyways, that's the bow setup. I do run gas bowstrings over the stock. I've put a couple, I put them on a couple different times. This is just their standard, gas is standard. I think it's I think they call it their high octane. Got a little red, white, and blue theme going on in there. I don't know if you guys can see that in the camera, but you guys know I love that American flag. I got one right there on the quiver. That's a tight spot quiver, really good quiver, you know. I think that's it. QAD, drop away arrow rest. And again, I ordered that from Knock On just because. So that is the bow setup, and that works really well for me. So yeah, moving on. What else? All right, so I got the CVA Optima 50 caliber muzzleloader with a Leupold 3x9x40 Freedom scope on there. And let me tell you, this gun is a killer. It is really dialed in for me and has done really good for me. I know they make a couple different lines. CVA does, you know, a higher one and then a little bit more budget friendly one. This one comes in right at the middle. I think it was, when I bought it, around $400 or $500. I think the scope was around 300 bucks. Great gun, really like it. I've got it dialed out to 100. Does really good for me. I shoot the Hornady SST low drag bullets in that, or sabots with the 44 caliber bullets, however you want to say it. 100 grains of Pyrodex pellets, and that works really good for me. So check that out if you're interested. All right, this was a big hot item this year. The XOP Revolt climbing tree stand. A lot of you guys have seen that video. I did a review on it, and I also did a how to use it, and that video applies to most any climber. So if you guys haven't checked those two out, they're really good. And somebody said that these were going to be back in stock in September. I don't know how true that is, but really liking this stand for a little bit of practice I've been having in it, or messing around with it, and looking forward to putting it through the paces this hunting season. Super lightweight. I think I said it in the other video, but I think it's coming in at like 12 pounds, 7 ounces or something like that. You can check that out. I got all the specs on it. It is a great stand so far. A little bit small. It's definitely for the minimalist, so, you know, beware. But that is what I will be running. So moving on. All right, what else do I got? This are just some cheap, I think these are 10x40 binoculars, and I think this is like a 1500 yard rangefinder. It was a kit. These are Bushnell. They weren't very expensive. I think it's their Prime series. I didn't spend a lot of money on them. You know, I'm hunting in the woods most of the time. I don't need to see that far, but I always like to have some binoculars, you know, see what's out there, especially when I'm bow hunting. I don't have the scope, you know, the gun with the scope on it, but rangefinder does fine for me. It's got the angle compensation in it. I know there's better ones on the market, but I have no complaints. This is not new. This has been around for a long time, but guys, I love this. Check this out. This is from Hunter Safety System, their gear hoist. This thing is slick. It is a just some kind of nylon strap. I've never had a problem with it. I think I've been running this for like 4 years, and has a little reel on it. It does have a belt clip on there that I guess you could put on your belt if you were using a saddle or whatever. I took it off. I didn't like it, and I just put this little bit of 550 paracord on there as a loop, and I can just loop it around itself on the front of my tree stand when I'm climbing. It works awesome for me. I really like that. No more tangled mess of ropes and stuff like that. If you guys use that still and it works good, then hey, keep doing it. But check this thing out. It's not very expensive. Maybe 20 bucks. And it lasts. I've had it for a couple years. So now this is these are pretty cool. Leg gaiters. I don't know how many of you guys are running these. I just started running these a couple years ago, and let me tell you, I am a huge fan of them. You know, especially that early season when the grass is wet, or you're walking through the field to get to your spot, or whatever, and your pants are getting all soaking wet. I'm a pretty short guy, and 90% of these hunting pants, you know, they come in one inseam. You can't get the in-between. So a lot of times they're real baggy around your ankles and stuff like that, getting soaking wet, getting full of dirt and all that crazy stuff, or getting hung up in the briars. So these are from T&K Hunting Gear. Awesome company. I think they're out of, I want to say South Dakota or something like that, but it's a veteran-owned company, made in the USA, and these are the beast of leg gaiters. I've gone through a couple different pairs of other brands, and they always tore up and just didn't work out. But these suckers are solid. All this Velcro, heavy duty YKKK zippers, or YKK, I think I said too many K's in that. Steel cords to go around your boots at the bottom. These things are awesome. I think if you guys tried them, you wouldn't go out without them. You know, whether you're scouting, turkey hunting, in the snow, you can cross creeks with these and keep your boots dry or your legs dry, you know, as long as you're not getting too deep. I'm not a big fan of rubber boots, you know, big and bulky, and so these definitely take place of that, and they're really great. I just keep them in the truck for any time that I'm out here just practice shooting my bow, or getting out in the woods or doing whatever. So check these out, T&K Hunting Gear. This is Mossy Oak Bottomland. This was a limited drop. I know they do that a few times a year. I don't think you can get that all the time, so just check them out and you might be able to find the camo that you like. He does have multicam, I think Ranger Green and Coyote. Those always seem to be in stock. Great colors too, but I'm a big fan of that Mossy Oak Bottomland, so I got those. What else? These are the Zamberlan boots. Bought these a couple years ago. Really like these boots. Now, I thought this BOA system was like the greatest idea ever when I saw it. There wasn't a lot of things online, so this is one of those little bit of reviews I was talking about in the beginning of the video. It's a great idea. This BOA system is awesome, right? No shoelaces, whatever to break and stuff like that. The only problem, I like my boots really tight, and this BOA system doesn't seem to get the bottom tight. You really got to yank up on it and hold it while you crank on this knob to tighten up the boots. I've made it work for me. It's not a big deal. They do offer this boot in the lace-up version, and if I could go back, I probably would just get that with the laces. But nonetheless, this thing has been holding up, and I'm telling you guys, there was like no break-in. I put this thing on my boot, or put this thing on my foot, and it was like I had been wearing for the last couple years. They are so comfortable. This is an early season boot though. There is no insulation in it. Zamberlan has a couple different boots to choose from, so go check them out. Pretty pricey though, but you know, you don't want to skimp on your footwear, right? So moving on, I've got the Streamlight ProTac flashlight. This thing is super bright. It's rechargeable on a USB-C. I think it's 2000 lumens, and that's on the high setting. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on it, but I think I want to say it'll last like an hour and 30 minutes and longer, as you know. It's got 3 modes. So awesome flashlight, really like that, being able to recharge it. Comes in at like $100. I know, not that pricey compared to most stuff nowadays, so check that out. Night eyes, these gear clips, these things are super handy. I happen to use this one to clip my backpack onto the tree stand, and that is super slick for me. I put a little bit of silencer tape on it, but those are really good, so check those out. And then new for me this year is the 4th Arrow camera arm. This is their satellite camera arm. You know, I can't say a whole lot about it. I've been messing around with it a little bit in the tree, just getting used to it. But yeah, so not a whole lot to say about that. I guess I can let you guys know as the season goes. But seems pretty solid. A little bit pricey for what it is, but you know, they seem to be the best out there. This fluid head for the camera is a small rig. I got this, I don't think I got this one on Amazon, but I did find it on Amazon. I bought this direct from them. Pretty solid fluid head. Again, I can't say a whole lot about it because it's new to me. So, but a little bit I've been messing with it, seems to be pretty good. All right, and for the cameras that I'll be using, these are the DJI Action 4s. I got a couple of these. I have a backpack mount for it, and I'll have something on the stabilizer of the bow, and then I can also put it on the barrel of the gun to get some of those shots. And then for the main camera that you're looking at right here, let me check my phone so I can get the name right. That is the Sony FDR AX43. Bunch of numbers there. But you know, I really can't say a whole lot about that because this is my first time using it. It does do 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080 at 60, and so on and so on. A lot of that stuff is new to me. I've been learning as I go, but it seems to be pretty user-friendly, and from all the research I've done, it's a solid choice for this self-filming deer hunts and stuff like that. What else? Let's see. I do have this Deity Duo 4 shotgun mic on there. Don't know a lot about it. It was recommended from another content creator that does a lot of self-filming. It has a front mic, a rear mic if you want, or you can switch it so it's just a front shotgun mic, or you can switch it where it does the front mic and you can have a wireless mic. So that seems like it could definitely come in handy. Just been learning with all that stuff and everything, so I'll be sure to keep you guys updated how it's all working out, and you'll see it in the videos, of course. But anyways, moving on, what else do I got? All right, and for my safety harness, I think I touched on this a little bit in my climbing tree stand how-to video. This is the Dryad, I think they call it the Dryad Killdeer harness, but basically it's a rock climbing style harness. It clips around your waist here. You don't have any straps going over the top, and you run your tether. It goes right around at your waist. Awesome harness. I ran a full body harness for quite a few years. Finally spent some money and switched over to this, and I would never go back. So I highly recommend this. They do have some saddle options with this. This will turn into a saddle, and really as is, you can kind of use it as a saddle. It's not as comfortable as a full-blown saddle, but this thing is awesome. So I definitely recommend it, and check that out. I'll put that link below, of course. And big buck knife fan. I have been using these buck knives for a very long time. I like this little folder for gutting my deer, and I will process an entire deer with this little knife right here. It is great. I've had this thing for years, so definitely a big fan of buck and highly recommend them. What else? Oh, here's another stream light that I got, just an older one, another ProTac, you know, in case that headlamp dies. I want something to be able to track those deer. Can't say enough about these stream light flashlights. They are great. Okay, here's another part for the camera. I do have this little remote. This will be able to control, you know, my zoom and things like that when I'm up in the tree. So that's from Sony. I ordered that on Amazon. Pretty pricey, but seemed like it would be a good addition to the whole filming setup. Okay guys, so pretty much that's a basic rundown of all the gear I'll be using. I hope I got everything. If there's something you have questions about, definitely ask me in the comments. I try to respond to all of you guys. But nonetheless, let me get into a few of these reviews and tips. It's not much, but I definitely wanted to let you guys know what I figured out. So if you are going to start self-filming and you're going to buy one of these Fourth Arrow satellite camera arms, I bought it, and it comes with this is the base. But if you look here and you see these teeth on here, these don't come with it. They call these like bear claws or something like that. They're 10 bucks. I saw them and said, oh, I don't need that. It'll be fine. Let me tell you, I got up in that tree, and shame on Fourth Arrow for not just including this in their kit, because there is nothing to bite into the tree, and the camera was moving all over the place. Maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic, but when you would extend that arm fully out all the way to one side or the other, it would definitely move. So I immediately ordered these bear claws. It is what it is. You know, these companies always looking to make a dollar, right? I guess I can't blame them. But if you're going to order this satellite arm, just add this into your cart. I would have done it right away if I would have known. So definitely do that. But I guess that's what I wanted to touch on that. And this was a little tip. I don't know, maybe you guys think it's stupid, but it's worked really well for me. So most of these drop away arrow rests, I hope you guys can see it, come with some kind of felt or fabric to put on there for silencing. Well, that always wears out, right? And I normally never put it on, but I started putting this waterproof bandage tape on there, and just found that stuff really holds up, and it's really great. I mean, I've never had to replace it on any of the rest. I put it on one time, and that seems to be it. I'm sure after a few years, I'm definitely gonna have to replace it. But maybe guys, check that out if you're going through your felt on your drop away rests or whatever they got. You guys might like that, so check that out. All right, friends, well, there it is, a quick rundown of the gear that I'll be using this year. I did say I was gonna do a review. I guess it was all kind of a review, right? But I really just wanted to touch on that 4th Arrow satellite camera arm and the issue I had with the base. So if you're gonna get that, definitely add those bear claws to your cart. It's well worth it, and I don't think you'll regret it. And I really wanted to point out those leg gaiters. Man, I am really liking these this year. I went through a couple other pairs, like I said, and they just kept tearing up. So I spent a little extra money and got these, and I don't think these things are gonna tear up at all. I think I'll have them for many, many, many seasons. So check them out, they are great. And the tip, that arrow rest tip is pretty cool with the bandage tape. Works really well for me, so maybe it'll help you guys out. Anyways, have a freaking awesome day, and I will see you guys on the next one.